Welcome to A Healthier, Happier You, the people working to make it happen. I'm Evan J. Cholfin from Luxhammer, where we help the brands that help you live healthier. Today, we're joined by John Graham Harper, CEO of Lumaflex, whose red light therapy devices were named one of Time Magazine's best inventions. John, welcome.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to share. You've obviously built a good relationship with your audience. You know, you've established that trust. So giving me an opportunity to share on your platform is hugely appreciated. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So, what inspired the creation of Lumaflex's portable red light therapy devices?
So I was in fitness for my whole life, and during the time of doing fitness businesses, I was also competing as an athlete. I was very good at rugby, and I had moved on to boxing. And throughout that competitive career, injuries were something that was very prominent. I'm not a real robust athlete. I broke a lot. I broke quite frequently. You get some of these guys that are just these sort of real burly lads that can just pretty much handle anything. I wasn't like that. I was always in the hospital, and I was always breaking. But some very significant injuries were my shoulders, my knee from rugby, and then from boxing due to impacts to the brain over years of amateur boxing. I got a tumor that developed in my head that had to be removed within 11 months, or else it was going to go into my head. That's what the doctor told me. Funny story. Good, a very good low point, but also resulted in a very good high. But over that time, my wife was pushing me to use red light therapy, and for healing, for recovery. She was saying it was something that she was very adamant about using it. And where that aha moment came was for my left knee, which was something I was dealing with for many years. It was like one of those pains that was so normal to have pain that I was used to it. I would structure my day and my life around the fact that I would have like a knee pain throughout the day. Like I would carry this deep heat rub, like you can buy it at Walgreens. It's that just helps heat up the area, draw circulation, and relieve pain. I would avoid long trips because sitting down would always hurt my knees. It would always like inflame the area, make it really hard to stay seated. But all that to say, using red light therapy, she had a lamp that she got for me. It was a lamp that I think it's old technology. I'm sure like Amazon still sells these kinds of lamps, but it's very cumbersome. It looks really ugly. You know, it's something that you would see more in a hospital environment, you know, rather than something fancy to put in your home. And I remember I had this very large weighted base that would hold up this lamp with this big red bulb, and I would sort of walk it across the house, and then wherever I was going to be positioned, I would sort of have to angle it there. And she would say, put it, 20 minutes on the area every night before bed. And for my knee, I remember I healed very quickly compared to how much pain I was dealing with for so many years. That was kind of like where it was like getting a slap in the face, like, wow, what is this? And so after about a week, I didn't have that pain. And 2 weeks, I stopped using the lamp. We gave it to her grandfather. But I went down the rabbit hole of what red light therapy was and what does it do. And I started sort of learning, because I remember the lamp would get hot. The bulb would get very hot. So I thought it was heat that was healing my knee, not the light. It was just sort of, I guess the heat, the combination also does support. But I remember it would get very hot. But it was just old technology. It was just something that was like built back in early days of photobiomodulation. But fast forward like 6, 7 years, and we have Lumaflex, which is now, we won Time Magazine Bench Invention for Wellness. It's something that I wanted to build to tailor a device more towards someone like me that was on the go. And I kind of really took a lot of time in the development stage, making sure I understood the use case, the feedback. And that was everything down to like the material used, the touch of it, the size of the actual panel itself was something we went back and forth a lot about, because the reason for its size is the number one pain in America right now is the lower back pain. So more people jump on a prescription, go see a pain doctor, go potentially get a surgery for a lower back pain. And so I wanted a large enough surface area to address that number one pain, but I didn't want to lose portability, which is kind of the way in which we can guarantee consistency of use in red light therapy. If you have a device, a red light therapy device, and it's sitting collecting dust at home, it doesn't matter how fancy it is or what it promises. It's not working because you're not using it. And I got this sort of thinking process from my time in fitness when I was also building gyms and doing fitness tech. It's always this consistency is key, is the message we always say in fitness. Regular exercise, regular healthy eating, get your sleep, all this. And it's consistency is sort of the hack for success. So if we could create a device that encourage consistency of use in early testing and user trials, that if we got that feedback that this is the device that I always have with me, this device, it feels good, and I'm not sort of ashamed to bring it out and show my friends and get my treatment in front of my friends. If we could create that, then we've won the race of all the light therapy devices out there that are saying this is the device you'll use this same time next year. So that was kind of the thinking process of it. And it's the same sort of design process that I'll do with all the devices, even the ones coming very, very soon this year and next year that are in the roadmap. It's something that I love a great device, and the efficacy of it is that there are devices that can do amazing things. But I always come back to that question: is this the one they're going to be using this same time next year, or is it like that awesome workout program or that gym set or that diet protocol that you forgot about or you lost it or you're no longer using it? That's kind of what scares me, as I don't want to just be sitting collecting dust. Like, our education is something we're very big on. Education, we have the Lumaflex Academy, we have the foundations course. I've got a great scientist on the team, Peter Forehand. He's someone that I've consulted with, not only for producing which devices and what sort of nanometers are we doing, but also just for the business itself. He's someone that really believes in light therapy and the future of photobiomodulation. And he's someone that definitely I've learned a lot of science from. And I love the way that he packages it and he makes it easy to digest. That's very important for me. I don't think we should be launching treatments and protocols where we're trying to make it sound complex. We should make it so easy to understand, even to the point where they have enough information that they can go and tell their friends and they become an ambassador for the treatment. So yeah, anybody listening to Evan's show, if you message me on Instagram, just say, love the show, I want to get access to the Lumaflex Academy. We sell it online, but anybody listening, I'll give you access for free. I just need your email. You can message me on Instagram. See the growth of the company parallel to the growth of photobiomodulation as an industry, as more awareness is coming to mainstream media. I remember reading an article in the beginning of the year. It had to have been like March or February, but from the Wall Street Journal, they produced an article about red light therapy, which was kind of a milestone in mainstream media to talk about it. But I remember the title said, red light therapy gets the green light, and then sort of, like, of course the writer wants to stay neutral, but obviously they're not really aware of the immense amount of clinical research which is available for red light therapy. I have access to a clinical database with like it was like 8,400 something studies on red light therapy. And it's so extensive that the only way to use it, you have to, press Control F and you type like arthritis, or maybe if you want to research a specific nanometer, like 660, you can start to see the research. But yeah, all that to say, everyone get involved with the education, learn about light therapy, grow the awareness, talk about it with your friends. It's natural, it's non-invasive. It's something we all should be doing, at least before popping pills.
Definitely. Could you talk a little bit more about the academy and how that plays into educating people about the benefits of red light therapy?
When we started this, this idea to put education down, as you know, in the company. We made this great product, award-winning product. I mean, actually, to be honest, last night I got a call from a very large company in Dubai. I'm not allowed to say it because there's like, I'm not allowed to announce it. Yeah, there's a thing here, confidentiality. I'm not allowed to say this before they officially launch it. But we've received our ninth award, like 9 awards, more awards than any other light therapy company in the world, right? So all of those years in the design and innovating sort of just the product itself, it's great because we've got 9 awards to our belt so far. But all that to say, we had an award-winning product, but we didn't really have a solution. People were still saying, "How do I use it? Like, what's it for? Like, can my mom use it for this condition, or can my kid use it for this condition?" All these questions. So it wasn't really a solution. It was just a great product. So I talked with Peter about creating a course called the Foundations course, and we'll have the academy, we'll have the Foundations course, and then we'll start to branch out. We'll do courses all based on clinical research, but we'll do like a course on autism or pet care, horse health, or recovery from sports, or like optimization for sports. And we'll start to create these branched out courses, but we need to start with the Foundations course. And the key to this, the key sort of thing was, it needed to be understood by like a 5-year-old. I was like, if we don't achieve that, then we're not really sort of following the vision of Lumaflex to mainstream red light therapy. It needs to be very well packaged. So where I have a passion for my fitness background is actually communicating red light therapy to the fitness audience, to trainers, to coaches, to gym facilities. Because the thing with them, with a trainer, is a trainer actually has a lot of prowess in today's life, right? He almost has like the same sort of authority as a doctor. You'll have people that talk about their trainer like, "Oh, my trainer said I'm not allowed to do this. You've got that trainer? Oh, he's amazing." They have so much ability to create change in their little respective worlds and universes, right? Their little communities. They would be great ambassadors for red light therapy. They're telling you to drink more water, eat healthy, go on this diet, or they should also be telling you they should talk about light. They should talk about the sun. They should talk about like the greatest energy source in the world that we have available to us, which is the sun. It's our multivitamin just sitting there out in the sky, and we're all like ignoring it, or we're covering ourselves in sunblock, or we're hiding under umbrellas with sunglasses. So I said, let's communicate this course to trainers. Let's get them inspired about red light therapy. And we do seminars in the US, different cities, different, where we get a group of trainers, we sit them down and we run the course with them, right? So one seminar we did was in Miami at a facility near Miami Lakes. It's run by a guy named Dr. Zach Coles. He's an absolute amazing person. He's got a massive following, someone I would highly recommend following. But he's someone that, like the Miami Heat players, they go to him. I met Roman Reigns, the WWE guy. I'm him because he's another client of Dr. Zach. He trains all these celebrities, but he also trains, your regular people. And he uses red light therapy. He uses everything. PMF. He uses the trigger point. Does all the acupuncture, the cupping. He does all of it. So we got a group of coaches in his gym, and we filmed the seminar. We filmed Peter talking. So it's a nice video where you had that engagement, that back and forth, that question and answer in the video. And then that video became sort of the Foundations course, because we had the book already, but I wanted a video, because that's kind of a way in which a lot of us learn, is through video, through that seminar. That's why we go to conferences. And I think I've done close to 40 conferences since launching Lumaflex. Like, I've done all the medical conferences all over the world. I've done some great biohacking events in Europe. I have an event coming up, a great conference in Estonia. But I listen to all of the presentations, the talks, and you learn and you go, wow, this new study has come out. This new discovery has come out. This new combination of this treatment and this treatment is now showing these results. It's amazing, right? So we got that video, we got the manual, and then we produced some, Q&A videos. I produced a video myself of my whole origin story as an athlete, suffering pain, getting introduced to red light therapy, starting the business, what my North Star is and why, the size, why is it waterproof? Why is it environment and temperature tested? And the reasons I want to actually introduce it to the military. It's kind of like my dream to introduce red light therapy into the military, be the first portable device that is used in the military. So we put it all together, and then it is something that I push out, because as we have resellers, even retail, when we have retail, but then of course distribution, regional distribution, we have distribution all over the world. People go, oh, great product, but how do I sell it? Or what's your advice? And which audience? And they'll ask me all this question. So they want sort of sales manuals, just like, because they're distributing an array of products, they have a sales team. Each product gives them a sales manual. And I said, no, I don't want to do a sales manual. This can be the education. They just learn the education because it's packaged in a way that is so easy to understand, easy to talk about, and it's inspiring. It makes you inspired. It makes you like, wow, this is available. This is so life-changing. It changes people's lives. It heals people's. You can get excited about it, right? So that's kind of the purpose as well for the academy, is as a training manual for our partners, right? To get it distributed, to get the product sold. And we've translated it into a few different languages now. I believe the reason why I'm going to Vietnam in 3 days is there's a very large partner there that wants to not just run Vietnam, but like all of the East China area. So that's going to be another exciting region to kick off. And Riyadh in Saudi that's another exciting region. There's all these great. Japan. Wow, that's another region that I'm talking to. But we start those discussions, those relationships about, introducing the product into these regions. We start with the education. We say, once you've done that, your team's done that, we can sit down and the conversation is easy about how we work an order amount, or how do we do a product launch in your region. It's all seamless after the education. So yeah, I love talking about it. And I'm excited. Our next course will be autism, and will be on horse health, or on equestrian health, because equine health in Australia is very demanded, and in Europe. So I've gotten feedback from partners that like, we need a course on horse health, like a Lumaflex on horses' feet. You'll see a lot of these images that have started to come up because it's a big demand now. So yeah, it's exciting. It's really exciting.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So I'm curious, changing subjects a little bit, what are some of the biggest challenges to grow awareness?
Definitely education, just educating our market. I think everybody in photobiomodulation that has a product or service to do with red light, we all sort of every day that we're always trying to communicate it and educate our audiences as in a more efficient way possible. Even though with all the clinical research, even though now that actual mainstream media is taking off, you have guys like who's that guy? Andrew Huberman. He's a neuroscientist guy. He talks a lot about the benefits of sunlight. He's great, wonderful following. So obviously he's a good ambassador for it. There's the other guy, the Dana White doctor guy, Gary Brecka. He's obviously he talks a lot about it. So you get these sort of scientists/doctors that help people, but they have a good way of communicating online, and they become like public figures. They become famous. You get Jake Pauls or like pro athletes talking about them. So then they make them mainstream. And by making them mainstream, they also make their information somewhat mainstream, and they talk a lot about red light therapy. So that's very helpful. It's wonderful, but still more is needed. Still more is needed to get people that are in those areas where they disregard this information. They sort of are just not in those circles. Last week, my ecom team told me read me some reports of our performance of ecom. And they said, long story short, is that the people that are buying from our website already know about red light therapy. That was the summary. And I was so discouraged. Of course, it's great. It's great. People know about red light therapy. They're like, oh, I want the cool portable product. Maybe I have the big one, I have the one at home, but I travel a lot and I want to be able to give one to my parents or my grandfather. Like, I'll get the portable one. So I've got like the big one and the portable one. But I was like, how do I change it to where the traffic we're getting is from people that know nothing about red light therapy? They're like, I got it because it's cool. You talked about it in a cool way, or the way that that influencer spoke about it. He's like a cool guy. He said it very like, how do we? That was sort of the conclusion I got from that meeting. It was like, I don't want to always be hitting the people that know about red light therapy. We need to find a way to hit people. How do we make the brand more attractive? Because that's what it is. I mean, with the right marketing, Dwayne Johnson can make tequila seem like champagne, right? He just has the way of he does it. I want to make it mainstream. I really want to make red light therapy so common that if you're sitting down with brunch with the ladies or you're out for beers with the boys, it comes up in conversation. Like, oh yeah, get some red light therapy on that. You got that tweak on your back? Yeah, that red light. It needs to come up. It needs to be talked about. Like, I want to be able to have that audience come in and purchase it. So that's the everyday challenge that we're facing. So yeah,
So it's a top of funnel brand awareness,
yes,
really.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Well, so what are your growth targets for 2025?
Ecom has told me that they can achieve like an average of 50 units a day. I think it's 2 months time. So where we've been climbing to that, they've given me that in about 2 months time, we can do that. For regional distribution, certain respective exclusivity regions are under contract. They have commitments, and those commitments can be like in the thousands and thousands per year. Like Canada is a massive region, right? But let's say 5,000 set in production for wholesale. That's kind of every month. And then let's say by the end of this year, it's at 10,000. So 10,000 units produced, not at ecom, but produced for wholesale every month. That's kind of in my head. That's what's going in my head.
Yeah, that's great. And I understand that there might be some new products in the pipeline.
Yeah. So this is the Lumaflex Body Pro. We have the other one, which is the Essential. The Essential is exactly the same in terms of treatment. Same size, same LEDs, same dual nanometer, 630, 850. But the battery is fixed. It can't move it. Whereas the Body Pro, it comes with a spare battery. So the Body Pro is more for professional use. Think of it as like a tool in a toolkit of a therapist, a practitioner, a trainer, a strength and conditioning coach, a doctor. They've got, a massage gun, acupuncture, cupping. This is one of their tools. Whereas the Essential, the battery's fixed and it's not IP67. So it's water resistant, so you can clean it. You can still share it with the family and the pets, but you can't submerge it underwater. So we got only one battery. It's sweat proof, not waterproof, and it's not Bluetooth connected. So this one has a Bluetooth app that I'm actually going to revamp and launch at the end of this month. You can adjust the time because this has a 10-minute timer. So it'll switch off after 10 minutes. But you can lengthen the time, and you can also choose via the app, you can choose just infrared, which you can't see. So if you just want the infrared benefits, you won't see the red light. So so without that Bluetooth functionality, so we got the Essential, the Body Pro, and now I'm gonna build, drum roll, I'm gonna build the Pro Plus. It's exactly the same size. I'm gonna have more LEDs, and I'm not gonna have just 2 nanometers. I'm gonna have 6 different nanometers. So it's 6 different nanometers. And the reason I've chosen the nanometers, this is coming up in a course that we're going to have in the academy, is the clinical research. So there's a couple of nanometers that I really like in photobiomodulation. There are some nanometers that have a lot of research behind them. There's the 1 nanometer 904. Another one that we're bringing on is the 1064 nanometer, so a very long, deep nanometer to go deep into the body. So 6 different nanometers with a spread that mimics what is available to us outside, during perfect sunny days, the spectrum of red and infrared light outside. So that will be on the Pro Plus and the Essential Plus. So we're going from 2 nanometers up to 6 nanometers in a portable device. And there's a few other little optimization things that are happening, like with the battery and the functionality and stuff. And that's I'll save for the launch. But yeah, I'm over on the desk opposite me are the samples, and I am told that tomorrow I'm going to get fresh samples, and we might be going into production this same time next month. So these two are coming very soon. Then after that, I'm building a device that you can integrate into your shower or into your bath. A device, because going on that same track where I'm creating a product that innovates to people's time rather than people having to adapt to the product, I was thinking, like, everyone takes showers. Everybody gets naked to get into the shower. It's always good to do treatment with red light therapy with skin, like touching skin, which is why it's liquid, it's using liquid silicone and whatnot. So during the time when people aren't clothed is the shower time. What if in the future we were to own this time in people's lives? Imagine if people were to say, like, shower time was red light therapy time. Imagine that. How cool would that be? Where it became very normal and common to do that sort of multitask, that hack stack of shower and red light therapy. It just became normal. Like, showers started to get produced to be fitted into people, so it had to have red light therapy. So if I wanted to start this, I have to produce a device that is extremely like IP69, because temperature is a key thing, especially if it's in a jacuzzi, if it's in like hottish water. It needs to be very environment, temperature, and pressure tested. So IP69 is the goal. That's another product. And then I've got 2 other products that I want to do, but they're a little bit too far down the roadmap, and they're still like in my brain, not really into it. We're not really on paper yet. So I'll wait to share those ones. Let's see.
Well, I'm really excited to see those, and I hope that shower time becomes red light therapy time. That sounds awesome. What a great idea. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and that's it for today's episode of A Healthier, Happier You, the people working to make it happen. Thank you to John Graham Harper for sharing his insights and the amazing work Lumaflex is doing to help people live healthier, happier lives. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could benefit. If you're a brand or business making an impact in health, wellness, or personal care, we'd love to help you grow. Connect with me at luxhammer.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep making a difference.